Hi guys, and welcome to the Saucy Chef channel today. Beautiful sunny day here in Spain, so it's a great day to be cooking outside. So today I'm going to make for you crispy skin fillet of sea bass on a bed of sweet mashed potato with mint pea puree and asparagus hollandaise. A little bit more of a tricky recipe than I've done for you before, but if you have your kitchen organised, it's quite easy to do and super tasty. Okay, so what you're going to need is 2 lovely fillets of sea bass, which I have here, that have been marinating in coriander and lime juice, a little bit of salt, for about half an hour. Okay, I've got a large sweet potato here that I've boiled for about 15 to 20 minutes. So this recipe is for 2 people, so enough sweet potato for 2 people, and I'll show you how we mash that in a moment. Then we have some asparagus here that I've blanched in boiling water for about 2 minutes. I always do this with asparagus because sometimes if you don't, it can be a little bit woody. So we have some asparagus here, and then I also have some frozen peas that I've boiled in fresh mint and salt, and that's how we're going to make the mint pea puree. In addition, you're going to need butter, olive oil, egg yolks, a tablespoon of white wine vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and some butter, okay? Don't worry about remembering all the quantities and everything. I'll write it all down for you in a recipe anyway. All right, so first of all what I'm going to do is mash the sweet potato. Just let me mix this. Okay, and for this, it needs to be very well seasoned. We're going to add about a 50-gram lump of butter to this mix, and about a tablespoon of cream, and a very unusual ingredient in this is a teaspoon of mustard. It really does make it so tasty. So we're going to mash this like so, and then we really need to check for seasoning, and then we keep it in the pan to keep it hot whilst we're cooking everything else. Okay, let me just get a spoon and test the seasoning. A tiny bit more salt. You can just really taste the flavour of the nutmeg coming through there. So delicious. Okay, so just give that another mix, like so. Then we're going to keep it in the pan with the lid on to keep it warm. Okay. In the meantime, we have in a pan here about a 50-gram knob of butter together with some olive oil. This is where we're going to finish off the asparagus and cook the sea bass. Okay. So we'll switch this pan on now. To put the sea bass in, if you want to get a crispy skin, you really need to have it preheated and on a pretty high heat. Okay, so here I have the peas. I'm just going to drain these for you. Just about 200 gram of peas, or enough for 2 people. And I'm going to make my pea puree in this little mill here. So we put these in like this. We add about half a teaspoon of sugar, just to give them a really lovely sweetness. A little bit more salt. Like I said, don't worry about remembering everything. I'll write it all in the recipe for you anyway. And again, another tablespoonful of cream into the minted pea puree. If you can't get fresh mint, then you can use dried, but it's much better to use the fresh. Okay, so in here. Okay, let me give that a check now. Test the seasoning. That's absolutely yummy, but it needs just another 30 seconds of blending. What you want is a really smooth consistency. turn this out into my little bowl here, and then if necessary we can give it a quick blast in the microwave to make sure it's up to heat. Nothing is cooked in the oven in this recipe, by the way, guys, so you don't need an oven on, but you will need to warm the plates because these products like the fish and everything can go cold quite quickly. Okay, so that's the pea puree done. Easy peasy. So I'll put that next to the microwave in case we need to heat it through. So we've prepared the sweet potato. We're just going to bring this oil up to heat now for the sea bass, and we're going to finish the asparagus off in the same pan with the sea bass. You'll need about 8 spears of asparagus for the 2 people. So now I'm going to introduce you to the Hollandaise sauce. Hollandaise is probably one of the trickiest sauces to make. The worst thing about it is it can split. So you need to make sure that if it does, you have a little bit of milk handy, and this can avoid the sauce splitting. Okay. So first of all, in the pan, we put what I've got is some boiling water at the bottom of the pan with this bowl over. You don't need to have the water touching the bowl. The sauce cooks in the steam. So here we have the 2 egg yolks, a tablespoonful of white wine vinegar, and a tablespoon of vinegar. You can add a shot of Tabasco to the sauce as well, should you so wish. One thing as well, if you're going to make this sauce in advance, it really doesn't keep. The only way to do it is to put it in a flask with the lid on. It very, very quickly forms a skin. So we've got a few things going on here, but like I said, if you have your kitchen organised, you can do this quite well. And then to this, we're going to add about 50 grams of melted butter. So I'm just going to melt it in the microwave for a few seconds. I don't know if any of you have tried sea bass before, but it's a particularly delicate, beautifully flavoured fish, and it's really, really popular here in Spain. Okay, so that's my melted butter ready. Now, with this Hollandaise sauce, you really do need to keep a good eye on it because it soon curdles. So now we've blended together well the lemon juice, the white wine vinegar and the 2 egg yolks. Okay, so they look like this, just like a nice glossy smooth sauce, and we gradually drizzle in the melted butter. Like I say, you can add a shot of Tabasco as well. I don't really think it's necessary. Right, it's virtually cooked through, so I'm just going to turn the heat off there. A little bit more butter goes in. And what you need to ensure is that the egg yolks are cooked through, so the sauce has come into the right consistency now, and I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of milk just to bring it back together. Okay, can you see that, guys? That's how a Hollandaise sauce should look like. That will stay warm over this water now. I've turned the heat off and it will stay warm over this water, but keep an eye on it because it will build the skin up if you're not careful. Right, now in we go with the sea bass. This is up to heat now. So like I said, the sea bass has been marinated in lime juice, coriander and some salt. So we put it in skin down. Like so. And then I'm going to crisp up the asparagus and put it either side of the sea bass in the pan. Like so. So we can leave that to start to cook whilst we're keeping an eye on everything else. It takes about 5 minutes in total for the sea bass to cook through, nothing more. Don't overcook it because it turns out dry. And what you need is just a nice, soft, flaky consistency with the fish. So I'll come back to you in about 5 minutes when the sea bass is cooked. See you in a moment. Hi guys, okay, the sea bass has been cooking away here for about 5 minutes. Ensuring that the skin is crispy, flip it over to the other side and then just let that continue to cook for a moment, and we'll start to plate everything up. So it's easy as that. Right, so I've made sure that the mint pea puree is hot enough and that the plate is warm. So we're first of all going to put the sweet mashed potato onto the plate. Like so. Okay, so there we have the sweet mashed potato. We then add our crispy skin sea bass with the skin side up. Like so. We then add our asparagus. Like so, with our minted pea puree on the other side from the asparagus, like so. Followed by the hollandaise sauce. Just drizzle the hollandaise like this over the asparagus on the other side of the plate. Tidy up the pea puree a little bit. There we go. And garnish with a sprig of coriander. And there we have it, guys. Crispy skin sea bass, sweet potato mash, minted pea puree and asparagus hollandaise. Da-da! So if you enjoyed watching the video today, please like and share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now. Hi guys, I just realised when I was adding things to the sweet potato mash, I think I said mustard. I meant to say nutmeg, so don't put mustard in it, put nutmeg.